That moment when consciousness crashes into you like a wave against rocks, raw, violent, unstoppable. You're awake, not because you want to be, but because something primal inside you refuses to let you sleep through another lifetime of mediocrity. You know that sick feeling? When your mind is a graveyard of dead dreams, and every morning you wake up to attend another funeral? When thoughts eat each other like starving wolves, and you're both the prey and the predator. You're not broken, you're just untrained. Marcus Aurelius didn't write his meditations for you. He wrote them while watching his own soldiers die, while his son plotted betrayal, while plague devoured his empire. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into the world to do? Your mind is a colosseum where gladiators of fear and ambition tear each other apart every morning. And you've been sitting in the audience watching the bloodbath, thinking you're just a spectator. Wrong. You're the emperor. You decide who lives, who dies, who becomes champion. Morning after morning, I watched myself die in that arena. Anxiety would slice through hope. Regret would strangle potential. Doubt would poison every possibility before breakfast. Until I discovered something that shattered everything. The Stoics weren't philosophers. They were warriors wearing togas instead of armor. Seneca wrote his letters while Nero planned his execution. Epictetus taught while his leg, broken by his master, never healed properly. These weren't men who found peace. They manufactured it from chaos, forged it from impossibility, birthed it from pain. The 7 rules I'm about to share aren't self-help candy. They're mental chemotherapy. They'll kill the disease, but they might make you sick first. They'll burn through your comfortable delusions like acid through paper. They'll leave you naked, raw, but ultimately invincible. Why 5:30 a.m.? Because that's when the world's immune system is weakest. That's when reality's guards are sleeping. That's when you can reprogram the matrix of your mind without interference. That's when you stop being a product of your environment and start being its architect. These ancient rebels, disguised as philosophers, discovered something we've buried under motivational posters and productivity hacks. Discipline isn't about control, it's about revolution. Every morning is your chance to overthrow the dictatorship of your undisciplined mind. Before we begin this uprising, make your alliance known. Smash that like button like you're breaking chains. Comment, I declare war on weakness. Let the universe hear your battle cry. Share this weapon with fellow warriors. Subscribe and hit the bell. Transformation requires reinforcements. And listen carefully to every word. Missing even one rule is like leaving a hole in your armor. Now, let's get into it. Number 1. The philosophical assassination. Dawn breaks like a bone. You feel it snap inside you. That moment when sleep's sweet lie meets reality's bitter truth. Rule number 1 isn't about waking up. It's about killing who you were yesterday. Epictetus taught something that would get him cancelled today. Men are disturbed, not by things, but by the view which they take of them. Death, for instance, is nothing terrible. The terror consists in our notion of death, that it is terrible. Every morning, you must assassinate yesterday's perspective. Listen closely. Your morning mind is a crime scene. Evidence of yesterday's failures scattered everywhere. Fingerprints of regret on every surface. But you're not the detective. You're the cleaner. You make bodies disappear. And the first body? Yesterday's version of you. I discovered this accidentally. Woke up one morning after a betrayal that should have destroyed me. But instead of replaying the wound, I did something insane. I thanked the betrayal. I held it like a teacher holds poison, carefully, purposefully, extracting the antidote from the venom. That's when I understood what the Stoics meant by amor fati, love your fate, especially the parts that taste like death. The philosophical assassination works through deliberate amnesia, not forgetting facts, but forgetting feelings. Every morning, you wake up as a stranger to your own pain. You meet your problems like you're hearing about them happening to someone else. Detached, clinical, curious instead of crushed. Stand up right now, yes, right now, and physically brush off your body like you're covered in dust. That dust, it's yesterday's defeats, last week's wounds, last year's failures. Brush them off, feel them fall, watch them disappear. You're not ignoring reality. You're refusing to let expired reality dictate today's possibility. Your enemies expect you to wake up as the same person they fought yesterday. Your problems assume you'll bring the same weaknesses to today's battle. Disappoint them all. Wake up unrecognizable. Wake up impossible to predict. Wake up psychologically bulletproof. The assassination must be complete. No witnessing, no evidence, no mercy for the mental weaknesses that held you hostage. Tomorrow at 5:30 a.m., yesterday's you doesn't get a funeral. They simply cease to exist. Number 2. The rage alchemy. Fury rises in you like lava through volcanic stone. That anger you wake up with, at life, at others, at yourself. Everyone tells you to suppress it, meditate it away, journal through it. The Stoics say something different. Transform it into fuel that could power empires. Marcus Aurelius wrote during military campaigns, how much trouble he avoids, who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does. But here's what scholars don't tell you. He wrote this while his generals betrayed him, while his wife was rumored to be unfaithful, while rage must have burned through his veins like Greek fire. Your morning rage is not your enemy. It's raw material, unrefined power, pure potential that society taught you to fear, because they know what happens when you harness it. Anger is just passion that hasn't found its purpose yet. Every morning, I practice rage alchemy. Instead of deep breaths to calm down, I take deep breaths to heat up. I gather every frustration, every injustice, every moment of disrespect, and I hold them like coals in my mind. Then I speak to them. You are not my master. You are my fuel. Burn for me, not against me. Feel that heat in your stomach when you remember how they underestimated you. That's not acid, that's rocket fuel. That burning when you remember your mistakes, that's not shame. That's the forge where you'll craft your comeback. The Stoics didn't eliminate emotions. They transformed them from masters into servants. Stand in front of a mirror at 5:30 a.m. Stare at yourself until you feel the rage at who you've been. Let it rise. Let it burn. Then speak directly to that fury. You will make me unstoppable today. You will drive me past my limits. You will become my advantage, not my weakness. Watch how rage transforms into rocket fuel when you stop fighting it and start directing it. The world wants you calm, sedated, manageable. But greatness was never born from calm seas. Every empire was built on controlled fury. Every revolution started with someone who transformed their rage into purpose. Your anger is sacred. Stop apologizing for it. Start alchemizing it. Tomorrow morning, when that familiar fury rises with the sun, don't you dare suppress it. Channel it. Aim it. Use it to destroy what needs destroying and build what needs building. Number 3, the memory cremation. Memories assault you like assassins in the dark. each one carrying a blade dipped in yesterday's poison. That person who broke you, that opportunity you destroyed, that version of yourself you can't forgive. Every morning, these ghosts line up for roll call, and you've been letting them mark you present in a life you're trying to leave behind. Seneca lost everything: wealth, power, eventually his life to Nero's paranoia. But before he lost his life, he wrote, "What is death but a transformation? And what is more transformative than choosing which memories live and which ones burn?" Every morning requires a cremation ceremony. Your mind is a museum of mistakes, and you've been the most devoted visitor, walking those halls, studying those exhibits, memorizing every failure like it's scripture. But museums can burn, and sometimes they should. The memory cremation isn't about forgetting. It's about choosing what deserves preservation and what needs incineration. Every morning at 5:30 a.m., I write 3 memories on paper. Not goals, not affirmations, memories that haunt me. Then I burn them, literally, with fire. And as they turn to ash, I speak their eulogy. You taught me. You shaped me. Now you're dismissed. Watch what happens when you physically destroy the evidence of your mental imprisonment. Your brain, that pattern recognition machine, starts recognizing a new pattern. You're someone who burns bridges to places you'll never return. You're someone who commits arson on your own limiting beliefs. Some mornings, the memories fight back. They whisper, "You need us to remember who you are." That's when you roar back, "I need you to forget who I was." The person clinging to those memories, they're already dead. You're performing their autopsy every morning, determining cause of death, death by transformation. Feel that resistance to letting go? That's not wisdom. That's Stockholm Syndrome with your own suffering. You've fallen in love with your own tragedy, written yourself as the victim in your own story. The Stoics knew better. They knew that clinging to wounds is like drinking poison and expecting your enemies to die. Tomorrow, gather your worst memories like kindling, stack them high, light the match, watch them burn, and in their ashes, plant the seeds of who you're becoming. The phoenix doesn't rise despite the ashes. It rises because of them. Number 4. The impossible conversation. Silence screams louder than chaos at 5:30 a.m. In that silence lives a conversation you've been avoiding, the one with the person you could have been. They're waiting for you every morning, standing in the mirror, wearing your face, but living a different life. Marcus Aurelius had a practice historians rarely discuss. He would speak to what he called his highest self, not in meditation, but in confrontation. "Speak to me," he would say to his reflection. "Show me where I have fallen short." This wasn't self-help. This was self-warfare. Every morning you need to have the conversation that terrifies you most. Not with your boss, not with your ex. With the version of you that didn't quit. The one who didn't make excuses. The one who treated their potential like it was sacred instead of optional. I started this practice after realizing something horrifying. I was having imaginary arguments with everyone except the one person who could actually change my life, myself. So I began the impossible conversations. Every morning I stand before the mirror and speak to my parallel self, the one living in the dimension where I made different choices. Why did you betray us? I ask my reflection. And then I listen. Not with my ears, but with that part of you that knows truth when it punches you in the gut. The answers come like thunder. You betrayed us first. You chose comfort over conquest. You chose fitting in over standing out. You chose survival over sovereignty. The conversation gets violent sometimes. words like weapons, truths like ammunition. Your reflection doesn't pull punches because it knows exactly where you're weakest. It knows every excuse before you make it. It knows every lie before you tell it. It's the only opponent who fights with perfect intelligence about your vulnerabilities. Epictetus taught, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things." But he didn't mean be foolish. He meant be willing to look foolish while having conversations with yourself that would make others question your sanity. Stand there tomorrow, face yourself, ask the question that makes your stomach turn, "What am I pretending not to know?" Then shut up and listen. The answer will come like a bullet through glass, sudden, shattering, irreversible. Maybe it's that your relationship is dead. Maybe it's that your career is a costume. Maybe it's that you're afraid of your own greatness. Your highest self isn't some mystical concept. It's the you that exists when excuses die. And every morning you need to negotiate with them. Plead your case, explain your delays, but more importantly, listen to their verdict. They'll tell you exactly what needs to die for them to live. This conversation will feel like performing surgery on yourself without anesthesia. Good. Transformation isn't supposed to be comfortable. It's supposed to be complete. Number 5. The strategic suffering. Pain chooses you every day. The only question is whether you'll choose it back. At 5:30 a.m., while the world coddles itself with comfort, you're going to initiate a relationship with suffering so intimate, so intentional, that pain becomes your personal trainer instead of your prison guard. The Stoics had a secret modern motivators won't tell you. They didn't avoid suffering, they scheduled it. Cato the Younger would walk barefoot through Rome's streets in winter, not because he couldn't afford sandals, but because he was training for a future where sandals might not exist. "I will prepare myself for the worst," he said, "so I can enjoy the best." Every morning requires what I call strategic suffering, deliberately choosing a pain that serves you before life assigns you one that doesn't. Your body wants warmth? Give it cold. Your mind wants distraction? Give it focus. Your ego wants validation. Give it silence. I learned this after life knocked me down so hard I tasted pavement through my soul. Lying there, broken, I realized something. I had been ambushed by suffering because I never trained with it. I was a suffering amateur facing professional-level pain. Never again. Now, every morning, I choose my suffering like a warrior chooses weapons. Today, hold a plank until my body shakes like an earthquake. Tomorrow, write my biggest fear 50 times until my hand cramps and my mind surrenders. Next day, call someone I've been avoiding and speak truth until my voice breaks. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between suffering that happens to you and suffering you happen to. When you choose your pain, you're teaching your neural pathways a revolutionary lesson. You're not pain's victim, you're pain's employer. You decide when it works, how it works, and what it builds. Marcus Aurelius wrote while watching his son die, "What brings no benefit to the hive brings none to the bee." Your suffering must serve something greater than mere endurance. It must build capacity. Every chosen pain is a deposit in an account you'll withdraw from when unchosen pain arrives. Feel yourself resisting this idea? That resistance is precisely why you need it. You've been running from suffering like it's your enemy, not realizing it's your most honest teacher. It will show you exactly where you're weak, exactly where you're lying to yourself, exactly where you need to grow. Tomorrow morning, choose your suffering before it chooses you. Make it specific. Make it measurable. Make it slightly beyond what you think you can handle. Then watch yourself handle it anyway. Watch yourself become someone suffering can't surprise because you've already introduced yourself. The world will call you masochistic. Let them. While they're avoiding pain and wondering why they're weak, you'll be scheduling pain and becoming unbreakable. Strategic suffering isn't about hurting yourself. It's about building a version of yourself that can't be hurt by anything outside your control. Number 6. The identity execution. Every morning you wake up wearing a costume you've forgotten is a costume. That identity you're dragging around, the failure, the success, the victim, the hero, it's all drag. And at 5:30 a.m., it's time for the most violent act of all, executing who you think you are. Epictetus was a slave who became philosophy's emperor, but first he had to execute Epictetus the slave, not when he gained freedom, every single morning. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, he taught, but in having few wants. But what he really meant was, murder your identity before it murders your potential. Your identity is a serial killer. It's murdered every version of you that tried to evolve. It whispers, "This is who you are. This is all you'll ever be." And every morning you believe it like gospel, not recognizing it as the fiction it's always been. The identity execution requires psychological violence. Stand naked, literally or metaphorically, when declare, "I am not my name. I'm not my story. I'm not my achievements or failures. I am pure potential wearing temporary flesh." Feel how your mind rebels. That's your identity fighting for its life. I practice this after losing everything I used to define myself. Career, relationship, reputation, all cremated in life's furnace. Standing in the ashes, I realized something terrifying. I was free. Free to be anyone. Free to be no one. Free to be everyone I'd been afraid to become. Your morning ritual must include this execution. Write "I am" on paper, then list everything you think you are. Father, entrepreneur, failure, survivor. Then cross each one out with such violence the pen tears through the paper. These aren't you. They're costumes you've worn so long you've forgotten there's skin underneath. The Stoics knew something we've forgotten in our identity-obsessed culture. You're not your circumstances. You're not your thoughts. You're not even your actions. You are the consciousness that chooses. Everything else is drag. Feel that terror when you realize you don't know who you are without your labels. Perfect. Terror is just transformation's birth pains. Tomorrow, execute your identity before breakfast. Murder who you were so violently that who you're becoming has no competition. Strip yourself of every label. Stand in the void. Become nothing so you can become anything. The person desperate to maintain their identity is already dead. They just don't know it yet. Number 7. The Dawn Covenant. Blood oaths aren't made with blood anymore. They're made with behavior. And every morning at 5:30 a.m., you have an appointment to sign a covenant. Not with God, not with the universe, but with the only entity that can actually enforce it, your future self. Marcus Aurelius didn't just write notes to himself. He wrote legal contracts, binding agreements, unconditional surrenders to his highest potential. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, "I have to go to work as a human being." This wasn't motivation. This was a covenant. Your future self, the one 5 years from now, is watching you right now through the fabric of time. They're either grateful or disgusted. They're either inheriting an empire or ruins. And every morning, you're writing their story with your choices. The Dawn Covenant isn't some mystical ritual. It's a psychological contract written in neurotransmitters and signed with sweat. You stand at 5:30 a.m. and speak directly to your future self. I covenant with you today. I will suffer what you need me to suffer. I will destroy what you need me to destroy. I will become what you need me to become. Feel the weight of that promise. It should crush you slightly. Covenants aren't wishes, they're blood pacts with consequences. When ancient warriors made covenants, they'd split an animal in half and walk between the pieces, essentially saying, "May this be me if I break this oath." Your morning covenant requires the same severity. I discovered this after meeting my future self in a meditation so violent it felt like death. He looked at me with eyes that held either pride or pity. I couldn't tell which, but his message was clear. Every morning you waste is a morning stolen from me. Every comfort you choose is a strength I'll never have. You're not living your life, you're living mine. Write your covenant on your mirror with something that won't easily erase. Let it stare at you, let it judge you, let it remind you that someone is counting on you, someone who shares your face but not your present limitations. Seneca wrote letters to his future self, knowing he might be dead before they were relevant. That's the ultimate covenant, promising something to someone who might not exist unless you create them. Your future self is fictional until you make them real through morning covenants kept. Tomorrow, wake up and make promises that scare you. Promise to read for an hour. Promise to have that conversation. Promise to quit that addiction. Promise, like your future self is holding a knife to your present throat. Because metaphorically, they are. The covenant must cost you something: comfort, sleep, ego. If it doesn't hurt to promise, it won't heal when you deliver. Your future self doesn't need your good intentions. They need your executed covenants. The sun is fully risen now. The world is awake. But you've been awake since before awakening had a witness. You've assassinated yesterday's ghost, cremated limiting memories, and signed covenants in psychological blood. These 7 rules aren't suggestions, they're revolution. Every morning at 5:30 a.m., while others sleep through their potential, you're performing surgery on your soul with Stoic steel. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, they're not ancient history, they're morning mentors for modern warriors. Tomorrow, when that alarm splits the silence at 5:30 a.m., remember, you're not waking up. You're rising from your own ashes. You're not starting a day. You're executing a coup against mediocrity. Your mind will rebel. Your body will protest. Your old self will beg for mercy. Give them none. Give them transformation instead. Give them the gift of dying daily so something greater can live. Now, seal this covenant. Hit like if you're ready for war. Comment, "I rise before the sun to become the fire." Share this battle plan with fellow warriors. Subscribe for more weapons of mental mass destruction. The morning doesn't belong to the early bird. It belongs to the one who murders their limitations before breakfast.